up to the stage Jamal Harris and Desis Sanchez. These are our student panelists for today. So can we give a round of applause? I'm going to introduce our folks, and then I will go into some questions, and then we will open it up to questions from the audience as well. So if you are thinking of any questions, you'll have an opportunity to ask our panelists, as well as any of our speakers that you've heard from today. So Jamal Harris, he is a third year at San Diego State University, transferred to SDSU from Southwestern in fall of 2025, originally from Ohio, and he is a psychology major with a minor in interdisciplinary studies, as he's part of the Weber Honors College. And we have Desis Sanchez, who's also a third year at SDSU, transferred from Southwestern. He is a psychology major with a minor in marketing through the Fowler College of Business, and he is a local student. He graduated from Sweetwater High School here in San Diego in Chula Vista, and went on to Southwestern and is now at San Diego State University. All right, going into our questions. First question for both of you, maybe we can start with Jamal and then to Desi. Why did you decide to transfer to SDSU as a previous community college student?
For me, so I always had an ideal of what I thought college would be like one day. And SDSU kind of encompasses that with the prestige of the psychology department, as well as, I would say, I'm a big sports person, so Aztecs, they got some pretty good sports programs. And just thinking about that awesome open campus and stuff, so it just fit all the wickets that I was looking for. And when I was thinking about college, so it was a very easy decision for me to choose SDSU.
Well, like Gina said, I grew up here, so SDSU was kind of always around and always in the background. And I grew up going on tours there and had a lot of pictures of my mom over there. She has a lot of pictures of me in middle school, at the SDSU campus, signing my name. So SDSU was always in the cards for me. But when it came down to it, I could have gone to UCSD or SDSU, but I decided on SDSU because I feel like I got more of a practical kind of educational experience there. And then it wasn't until I actually got there that I figured, I had the stigma that, it's a party school or whatever. They don't take things serious. But no, I got there and the psychology is a big deal there. And I'm proud to be a part of it.
Well, I hope you recreate that photo from middle school when you graduate. Your mom will love it. I, as a mom, am very sentimental about recreating photos, so I hope you do that. Next question is, what groups, clubs, or organizations are you involved at SDSU, and what advice do you have for students to get involved?
First off, I am a veteran, so I kind of was, not recruited, but absorbed into the veterans programs that are there. So they've been a great community, helping me along the way, especially as a transfer student. I was recently admitted to Psych. So I'm an inactive member right now because it's a conflict with my academic schedule, but I do plan on becoming an active member once my schedule clears up. And those are the only two kind of programs that I've kind of been involved with, but I have been involved with a couple other things that's kind of small communities. The Weber Honor College is kind of like a little cohort of people. So that's a community I'm involved with. I'm going to be doing study abroad this summer to Tokyo. So I'm meeting with this whole group of people that I'll be going with for about 9 days to Tokyo over the summer. And also I am doing an internship, and it's a field placement course. So basically I'm with some other SDSU psych majors that are doing this internship, and we're kind of growing and becoming friends. And again, these aren't direct groups, but it's also I have all these little communities that I'm a part of just by being a student there. But I will say though, there's been a ton of advertisement for anything that you could possibly want to do. I'm sure that there's a program or a group or a club for you.
So the only club that I'm officially in is AMA, American Marketing Association, and that club's very awesome. They actually just had the Padres chief marketing officer there, enterprise, like the connections that they have is really big. They're very understanding of your schedule. They, if you have a time conflict, and then if you have it for, you know, an ongoing amount of period, or an ongoing amount of time, they will work with you and help you remain active and get your points. I'm not the most social person, so I don't really involve myself in a lot of groups and whatever. But it's definitely one of those campuses where if you get what you give, I mean, yeah, you get what you give. So if you're the type of person that really likes to put yourself out there and be parts of different groups and clubs, there's so many of them. It's like surprised that a lot of them are actually official clubs. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where you can either be part of a lot of different stuff, or you can just kind of put your head down and focus on academics.
Thank you so much, and I'm glad you brought up Study Abroad too, Jamal. It's a huge program at SDSU. We have it available for all of our students. So many of our students go study abroad that we're number one in California for students studying abroad. And if you feel like it's too late for you to go study abroad as a transfer student, it is absolutely not. Jamal is a living witness here, and a lot of our students will go study abroad in their third or fourth year, and there are plenty of opportunities for you to do so. You can go to Tokyo and do your study abroad program there. You can go to Europe. A lot of our students go to Europe. And for clubs and organizations, we have all different ways to build communities for you. Ultimately, we want you to venture out and find your own community, but through student organizations, through your classes, through our commuter life office. There are so many ways to build community in such a large campus. So thank you for sharing that. An important question for all of you in the room that you probably want to hear. Did you decide to stay in the South Bay, or did you move closer to San Diego State? How's your commute? How would you describe how that plays into your everyday life?
I think that was like one of the biggest adjustments for me. Was I live really close to Southwestern College, so my commute went from like 10 minutes to 20-ish minutes to SDSU. But I mean, everywhere, I feel like everywhere in San Diego is 20 minutes away from everywhere, so it's not really a big issue. Also, campus is pretty cool, so like I go to campus early to beat traffic. I go to the gym, take a shower, go to class, and then, just go on my day. If I get off out of class at a time that's kind of, during, evening rush hour maybe, got a great library, knock out some homework, food, everything. And again, like once you start building these communities, you end up hanging out on campus a lot to, kick it with your peers and stuff too. So it hasn't been a big issue. It is further away than SWC. But it hasn't been something that has really affected my ability to, enjoy going to SDSU.
Yeah, I kind of want the same thing. It's a little bit further away. I do live down here, so like I could wake up 5 minutes before class and like make it on time for my classes here. That's unfortunately something you can't do at SDSU if you live farther away. But I mean, you just gotta give yourself a little bit of extra time. Most professors I find will actually work with you if you tell them that you're going to be late or you live kind of farther away. And the traffic's really depends on the day to day. I feel like if you work anywhere in San Diego, there's going to be a solid amount of travel time. But no, I found that commuter life is like not as big of a deal as I thought it would be.
You. Next question is, what are your professional goals once you graduate with your bachelor's degree, and are there any specific careers you're interested in, perhaps graduate programs that you're looking into?
I'm 100% trying to be like a therapist, so to accomplish that, I do have to go to graduate school. So just working on everything I need to do to make sure that I'm as competitive as possible whenever the opportunity comes. With that being said, looking at the LPC stuff, licensed professional clinical counselor route, or licensed marriage and family therapist, kind of route. support that. So hopefully, given the opportunity, I'll be able to continue my career or this academic career at SDSU after undergrad is complete.
I'm actually trying to get a career in marketing and using my minor to do that. But the good thing about a psych degree is subject to psychology. Any job where you interact with humans, you're going to be using that. So, and especially in marketing, and yeah, I feel like I could use psychology a lot for that. Can you run me the question?
It was more, are you interested in any specific careers or graduate?
Okay, well, yeah, I do know, however, that if you are interested in research or some type of talk therapy type stuff, SDSU is like the campus for it. I think they just got promoted to an R1 university, which means, I don't know, best of the best of research. I'm not a big numbers guy, I have a lot of friends that are doing research programs or studying under professors. It's very you can definitely start your career from there. The alumni network is insane. That's what SDSU is really known for, is how many people come out of there with great jobs. So that's probably.
Thank you, and a big plug to our MSW, MFD programs. We do have excellent graduate programs at SDSU. And my favorite course in college, I went to a different school, but my favorite course in college was consumer psychology, and it blew my mind. Psychology is everywhere, and I was a psych major too, so you can use that anywhere in life, whether it's therapy or marketing. It's very useful in so many different ways. All right, how are you liking the SDSU psychology program so far?
For me, it's been like everything that I thought it was going to be. Starting here, falling in love with psychology, and transferring to SDSU, and just getting a stronger focus on each one of these little courses that I'm taking. So again, it's just digging deeper into something that I'm really passionate about. And one of the greatest things that's happened to me is like my actual internship, because sometimes you think you want to do something before you do it until you do it. And it's been a great opportunity to actually be there and be like, oh, yeah, I do want to do this, So yeah, I'm loving the fact that this psychology program at SDSU supports my ability to, continue to pursue the career that I'm looking for.
Yeah, psychology is the top major at SDSU for a reason. Back there's actually a bunch of the professors that you could possibly have. Dr. Paul Gilbert, I have him right now. Oh my God, he's amazing. I know, I should get a little bit of extra credit. But yeah, no, it feels like in the psych program, it's kind of hard to find a professor that won't kind of fit your needs. I mean, obviously there's different personalities and whatever, but I noticed a lot of the professors are really good at breaking down complicated content. And even if something's not really your cup of tea, like research, you can just be real open about it with them, and they'll work with you. I know specifically in Dr. Gilbert's class, he'll tell you, you have to worry about this, don't worry about that, this is boring, who cares about that, Yeah, so there's a lot of professors that are real open like that. And like I said, it's the #1 major there for a reason, and it's kind of a big deal to be a psych major there.
Dr. Gilbert gets real life advice in classes. It's really good. You both have minors at SDSU. Could you talk a little bit about your minors and what you hope to gain from them, or why you chose to pursue them?
So my minor is kind of requirement of being a member of the honors, the Weber Honors College. But with that being said, as I've been in the courses that are required of me for this minor, it's just great to actually, although psychology is where my passion is, it's like this interdisciplinary kind of lens allows me to tap into all these other different studies that are available in higher education, and then kind of apply you know, like critical thinking in those subjects, but from like different lenses that maybe I wouldn't have been exposed to if I was just focusing, you know, strictly on my major. So it's been pretty awesome for me.
Well, my path was kind of that, coming out of Southwestern, I thought I was kind of locked in on, like, I have to be a therapist now and listen to people's problems all day. But, I actually figured, no, psych can be used for a lot of different stuff. And so I decided to, declare for a marketing minor, because I was really interested in not only psychology, but what makes people tick and why people do the things they do, especially in like a consumer setting. And I also get to be part of Fowler Business College, which is another, it's like neck and neck with psychology. It's really great the connections we get, especially in anything business related there. Aside from psychology, it has, their network is insane. My professor worked for Pepsi and Taco Bell. Another one is bringing in, I don't know if anyone knows Dr. Squatch or Native, the soap. But they're gonna come in and give us like a speech or whatever, talk to us in one of our classes. So any marketing or business, I would highly recommend, because that College of Business is amazing there too.
Those definitely do complement each other in so many different ways in life and careers and research, all that good stuff. All right, just a few more questions. What advice do you have for new transfer students?
I think the advice part is the biggest reason that I wanted to make sure that I was a part of this if an opportunity was given. So coming from Southwestern, I really was concerned with like how big the classes was, and you know, it's like such a tight knit, and with the counselors, it felt like I got to know everybody that I was going to this whole school with, and I just didn't think that was going to be able to transfer to such a large campus, and I was totally wrong. Like I've been in classes with 500 people, and our professors are available to each and every single one of them. Just for reference, I was totally blown away that like they really just run around with a mic and that everybody speak and these two. I was like, how do you speak to 500 different people at one time? So that was one of the biggest things that I wanted to make sure that people coming from like a community college where you kind of become family and you go to such a bigger school, it's still that same spirit is still alive. At least at SDSU it is. And then the other thing was, if you can do it here, you can definitely do it there. Like I was one of those people that had a lot of challenging thoughts in my mind about like, well, it's gonna be different and how hard it's gonna be, but 100%, as long as you got the same study habits that have guided you to this great accomplishment that you already have, finishing your associate's degrees and being accepted to SDSU, you are going to be just fine when you get there. So those were two big things that I, wanted to make sure that given the opportunity, I can tell any transfer student in the future.
Yeah, kind of a similar thing. I mean, you're hitting the ground running when you're a transfer student. You're coming in with a degree. At first, at least for me, socially, it's a little bit different because these people have already had 2 years to make friends and whatever. But it's like such a different thing when you're a transfer. And like I have a class with him and I'm like, hey, we went through it together. You made it out on the other side. It's real intimidating. But yeah, I would say just dive in head first into all this stuff. SDSU is a really dope campus. It's like there's a lot of stuff to do. Like if I'm in between classes or whatever, I can go get lunch. I can go to the bowling alley. That was insane when I found out they had that. Yeah, it's just a lot of different stuff to do, and I would say try to do all of it because 2 years is quick, comes quick. So just kind of dive in it first.
Really great advice. Bowling alley is a great place to be. And my final question is, what would you say to any student in the audience who's still on the fence as to whether or not to enroll at SDSU?
This is kind of a hard one for me again because you know, personally, I already have my ideas about where I want it to be. I would just say follow whatever your heart says. You know, it's a great college. It's an extension of the same community that we are here at SFUC, and I think that I know that you won't be disappointed. But if you have other options, again, I'm just sitting here saying that you have one person saying that I think you should choose SDSU, but you know, follow whatever you think is the best decision for yourself.
I mean, obviously, you're gonna make your own decisions and you're gonna do what's best for yourself, but I noticed that SDSU specifically has a very seamless transfer process. I mean, everything was pretty automatic when I transferred. I didn't really have to work out any kinks, they kind of all did that for me. And I noticed the transfer support is pretty good. Like, as soon as you tell professors or counselor or whatever that you're transferred, they'll like kind of help you through it. And I feel like there's a lot of downsides of any university, but SDSU kind of does a lot to kind of nurture you and get you up to speed with their process. And you know, like they're gonna start doing 4-year degrees here soon, start doing classes here soon. So that just tells you kind of how integrated Southwestern is with SDSU.
Thank you so much. At this time, does anybody in the audience have any questions for our panelists? Any burning questions, anything you're dying to know? Anybody?
I just want to say, Jamal came to my office over a year ago, and I'm very proud of you that you went to SSU and that you were doing so well, because when I met you, I was very inspired by you, and you did great at Southwestern, and it makes me so happy to hear that you're doing great at SDSU. So I'm really looking forward to all the things you're going to do. And if I have some problems later on, because my job is very stressful, hopefully it can help you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
I guess also the parking.
Parking situation.
There is a parking spot for every student on campus. It just might not be at the location that you would like to. So I think you just gotta, once you figure out like the flows of school, you'll figure out which parking lots fill up faster, and you'll develop a route that works to accomplish you getting to the course on time. But there is a spot for everybody that's there.
Yeah, I mean, parking is gonna be a problem anywhere you go. But the good thing about SDSU is they have a lot of, not just spaces, but parking structures like that. And just give yourself a little bit extra time. Usually, I mean, if you don't mind walking an extra 20 feet, you could get a spot. It's not a big deal.
Thank you. Yes.
So Jamal, you're from Ohio. So for the Ohio college, put San Diego State in
If it's Ohio State, that's only Ohio College that,
I also thank you for when you said about coming back here. It was something that someone that connected with you and that
We don't have any more questions for our panelists. Let's give them a big round of applause. And I'd like to invite Matt back up here and open it up to the floor for any questions for the SDSU staff. Anything that you were wondering about the process, anything that we can help to make it easier, let us know.
Well, we built in some time here until 6:30 for just general questions about anything SDSU. We have a number of our faculty and staff here today. Lindsay was also a psychology major and an alumna. And we have Dr. Gilbert, Dr. Sadler here from the psychology department, and a number of other folks here too. I saw Eunice came in, so shout out to Eunice from our Community Resource Center. So any questions you have whatsoever? Yes?
I heard a lot
So the question is, I'm sorry, I didn't hear all of that, but
Students using the trolley to get to school or the buses. How safe is it? And how do you accommodate students traveling through public transportation safety?
yes. So it is very safe. We have our trolley station right on the SDSU campus. And the trolleys run about every 15 minutes during peak times. During non-peak times, I think every half hour, but I think that's just weekend times. So we do have students who choose to take that option, who do the trolley and come on up. And it can take a little bit longer just with all the stops, but then again, on certain days and times, not that much longer, depending on traffic. But yes, we have students who utilize that too. It is safe. I have not heard of any problems from students taking the trolley. We have discounted rates for students using the trolley as well. So it's certainly a viable option.